Hello, and welcome everybody to Chalkcast episode number 38. We are here joined by CRR, but before we get into that, I just want to talk about a little something on the bottom right. You might notice a little name there, and that's actually one of our Patreon supporters. His name is Joe. And Joe's an absolute beast. But if you want access to some bonus content, you can check out the clip we posted on Twitter to see what that might look like. But let's get into the real show. I don't want to talk about it too much. There's a panel down below if you want to click it. But let's get into the real show. We're going to talk with CRR a lot about his career. So first off, welcome and thank you for joining us. And congratulations on your recent win.
Thank you, and thank you for inviting me.
Of course. I want to know a little bit more about the win itself because, you guys have been, playing as a team for a bit now. And like, what was the, I guess, how you guys have been practicing to kind of get to that point to where you are, because you guys didn't have like an incredibly strong start when you first formed, at least not to the point of like getting a win right off the bat. So how did that practice look like?
We really practice a lot because we try to see a lot of teams replays, like from GNG, FaZe, any top team in NA, and we try to learn the best each team do in the field. We try to put in our play style and improve it. So I think we took the best thing from each team in the region, and we practice a lot and we are playing so good now with that.
But you look at replays of teams like Gen G when they're winning, FaZe when they're winning, and you just take the best bits. You guys are like, okay, we like that, don't like that, we like this. We're gonna try and do it. Do you watch the replays together as a team, or does one of you do it and then you bring it to the rest of the team? How does that work?
Depends. Normally the coach away, but something with the team, we try to see, like always. You have to watch the replays of your opponents. Like you can't go to a game without watching anything of them. So we have to watch something and see what they do well and what they do better than us. That's how you become the best.
Now, coming into this split, obviously you had a pretty successful major, pretty good performance there, but still a lot of people were underrating you guys coming into the split, maybe not picking you in the top 4, top 3 in NA. Where did you guys kind of see yourselves coming into this split? Like, how confident were you going into this first regional?
We were really confident. We have been doing jokes about winning the regional the whole week before the regional, but just because like we lost in Gamers 8 in the qualifier, we played really bad. So we tried to stay positive and do our best in the regional, even if it was the same week. And I think it really worked. Like the mentally was so important part of the win.
You saw last week we had a couple of frauds on here, Rise and Nolly, our special guests last week, and they both put out their predictions of who would make the major. They said Complexity not making the major, Mickey run at Winter, which I like to say that we did push back on as hosts of the show. We like to let the guests talk, but some of those takes we didn't really agree with. I thought you were a pretty clear top 4. You guys in G2 were like the next 2 teams after the big 2, FaZe and Gen G last split. So do you think that you guys have improved now and it's the big 3? Do you guys think you're at that very top level in NA?
Starting with the predictions of like Nolly and Rise.
Yeah.
I really think I think probably they can say we have like a Mickey runs in the playoffs or something, because like we had, for example, in the first regional we made the finals. We should have played against FaZe in the top 8, but they lose to M80. And I always say that that's not our fault. If M80 beats FaZe that day, how we can control that? We have topped the group with 3-0. Like we did all we can to be there, and that's not like just lucky. I think we play good, and it is what it is. And I think we are right now really solid in the top 5. Probably we should be more in the top 3, but I think the teams that come behind us right now are really close, so that can be like a good battle.
Who do you have like around that number 5 in North America? Who's sort of your who you got there?
Yeah, I'm wondering who your major teams are.
Yeah, give us your major teams.
Gen G, us of course, after the win. Um, I will say FaZe because even with their loss in the first regional, FaZe always win after that. In the last split, they did the same. They lost in top 12 and then won the regional. So I really trust on them on that because I think they are so good players. Then I will say G2, um, probably Optic. I like how
Optic.
they're playing. Yeah.
Optic.
Do you
Optic.
say that because you really believe in them, or because they just got a really nice placement?
No, we played a lot of times against Optic in the whole season. I think like 4 times or 5, and I see if they are playing well, they can qualify to the major, for sure. If they are having good days, they are focusing really in the game. I think they can make it to the major.
What are your thoughts on Magic Bear then? Have you seen his potential in
Magic
scrims?
Bear, bro.
Uh, Maggie Beer, I think he's a good player, but I think he needs more confidence.
Okay. What about AJ? Did you see AJ's performance this weekend? Because he didn't reach the final, but he played pretty well, I think.
Yeah, AJ played really good. You saw like 2 shots of him, and it was really nice. But yeah, he played really good. I think he's a so good player, but I think he need like more consistency on his peak, like being able to be in that peak more times and with consistency.
You guys were really good in the groups. I guess the groups format last split. Do you guys like? Obviously, you won, so you will. But do you like double elim, having that second chance and having the
Mm.
loser bracket?
I really don't like it at all. Like I really don't like to have only 2 chances. Like I think the groups are like more fair in case you have any bad series or something. But I like the spicy of the double team because you are always in a bad spot if you lose one game. Like you can not stop trying your best in just one series because you have another one to play. Like that doesn't work like that in double elimination.
Well, actually, I've just realized now we didn't think of this before the show, but we realized, you say you're watching replays of all of the opponents. You might be one of the most qualified pros we've ever had on the show to give opinions on other teams and players. You probably watch them more than not a lot of pros watch a lot of Rocket League, but you sound like you've watched a lot of replays. So, what do you think of Space Station Gaming with Hoxer compared to Daniel? Just gonna throw some teams at you. Hear what your thoughts are.
Um, I don't know. I think Daniel is, of course, is one of the best players in the world for me, probably or in NA at least. Um, I think he's a so good player, but probably for the team with LJ now, like I see what happened there because me and Rage will have some problems with that. I've been two good players, mechanical, so fast. They always want to be with the ball. They always want to be doing the dribblings, and that's hard to really give chance to all the players that try to a lot of mechanics. um, and it can happen that one of the players don't play really well or don't is not that confident because the other player is taking more of the dribblings and more of the chances. So I think that's one of the things that can happen there.
So you think like with Hoxer, SSG might be more comfortable, even though Daniel is probably better. I don't want to put words in your mouth. I'm trying to, think of a popular opinion, and see if do you agree with that?
I think that right now is more important the team play and the whole team structure than just one so good player because Daniel is one of the best in the world. I can't say anything about that. But right now it's been so important the team play, and with Hoxer they play more like a team and not like that individually.
What do you think about Furia then? They've got lost, so they've had lost now for the second split. They just got top 6, so they're a little bit behind the teams like Optic. But yeah, what do you think about Furia and their chances as a team to make the major? How good do you think they are right now?
Uh, I can say in terms of players, like of names, with Lost, Yanks, and Carl, they are on paper they are an incredible team, and I think they are a good team. Just they are struggling a little bit on figuring out how to play and to use that potential in tournaments. But I think if they started to do inconsistency, like in the I think it was in the draw, they won the draw or the other one, the Steel Series tournament.
Yeah.
If they play like one of those tournaments that play really good, probably they can make major. But they need to like play consistently like that, and they are so good team.
Okay, so if we've got you like optics, chances for major, the big four, which are G2, you guys, FaZe, Genji, Space Station, Furia. What other? Okay, V1, of course.
Yeah.
V1. Yeah, what do you think about V1? They didn't have a good start. They've just lost in the same position FaZe did. You think FaZe are going to bounce back because they've done it before? Do you think V1 are going to bounce back? Do they have any chance?
Yeah, I think they have a lot of chance to bounce back, but they have to figure it out how to Daniel and Bismuth play together. Like if they find out how to play together in threes, they will be one of the best teams in the region. But they have to figure it out.
Okay, these are all some very balanced takes. So live chat, if you think CRR is on the money here, give us a 1 so we can make sure that you're all paying attention. I think we do need to talk about your top 4 at the Winter Major because maybe Rise and Nolly are calling it a Mickey run. I'm not calling it a Mickey run. I don't think it was a Mickey run. You beat I was calling Group D, your group at the Major, the hardest group to win because I think you guys were you had a team in there that you should beat, Pioneers, but you also had Genji and Oxford in there. So I think for you guys a pretty easy group to get out of. No disrespect to Pioneers, but the hardest one to win because there were some tough groups to win. Your guys going in stacked. But yeah, not Mickey run in my opinion. Were you expecting a top 4 though at the Major? Was that was that the goal going in?
I really wanted to do at least top 8, and after making top 8, anything better than that was so good result. But of course, after making top 4, we wanted to be in the finals. And about the Mickey run, um, I don't know why they call it like that because we beat Rice in the groups. So I don't
Yeah.
know if that's part of the Mickey run or not.
I don't know what they were talking about, Mickey Run. I don't know. But actually, Nolly did say that if you guys beat Nolly in the groups as well, you beat both of them in the groups. I don't know how it's a Mickey Run, but yeah, he
He's
said
like
that
owning himself, Nolly, isn't he? He's
I know.
like, nah, they had an easy run. They played us, but we were in groups. We're not that good in groups.
Yeah, he said give us complexity in the playoffs and we'll sweep them. But I guess I don't know. We need an update on that take from Nolly. He actually tweeted after you guys beat them this weekend very graciously, congratulating you. So we don't want to like really poke him too much, but yeah, you played him twice in playoffs this weekend, beat him twice. So I think he's changed his opinion since a week ago. But between then and now, or between then and your win, it did not age well. What about the FaZe semi-final though? You had them you were winning 3-2, right? I think you were winning 3-2 in that series, if I
Yeah, that is
remember
right.
correctly. And then yeah, game 6 and 7, very close games. You guys had great chances, but I think conceded some pretty silly goals. What's your now that you've looked back in that? Have you looked back in that replays yet? Those replays to see what went wrong?
Not the replays at all for me, but I really watched the series again. Not in trying to analyze it, but just to watch what happened. And I think the problem really was that in the 6th game, we just didn't score. Like we have a lot of chance, but none of them went in, and then FaZe used to go to 1 or 2 and they score. So that's what we really did wrong in that game, just don't shoot the net. And in the 7th game, I remember the one play that when we missed that play, I knew that we had already lost that game. And it was the one that I shoot and Red Bull goes for the bump,
Yeah.
and they save it, so and they score them. That play was like so bad for the mental of the team. I think I really feel like that.
Yeah, that's fair. I remember the player you're talking about is a bit of a heartbreaker. Did like kind of a not triple commit, but overextension. And then FaZe just did what FaZe do on the counter attack. Did you think that Carmine Corp would win the final? Looking at what they were doing, you didn't play them at the event, but you played FaZe. Who did you think was going to win in the final before the match?
Um, I don't know. I really thought Carmen Corp was gonna win, just because I was watching them the whole event, and I think they were playing insane. But I really thought it was gonna be like more close than what it was. I thought it was gonna be like game 7, but I don't know. It's really hard to play a final like that, and they just Carmen Corp played really well that final. I can't say anything bad about FaZe because they played well the whole tournament, and they tried their best in the finals.
Agreed.
You mentioned just real quick, well actually not really quick, this could go anywhere. You mentioned the potential like roster moves that sort of don't work with, say Hawks are being picked up, now they're playing more as a team. What do you look for, I guess, in terms of teammates? Because it is, obviously, as you said, you kind of mentioned it's not always about who's the best player, the best mechanics. What do you I guess prioritize? Because you've been on a few teams now. What do you sort of look for in teammates to make the best team possible?
Really, after joining Complexity, I really understand that to be one of the best, the whole team needs to want to be the best and sacrifice everything they have to be the best. And if you don't have that mentality, I don't think it's an option to be one of the best in the world right now. How everyone good is.
So you think, like, say, V1, like they obviously have the potential individually, but do you think that that'll ever, the best, like 3 best players can form a team and become better than, I guess, the best team, or it's still going to be about like the chemistry and how the team, I guess, works together?
I think you can put like the 3 best players in the world in a team, but if they are not like a real team and really share everything in the field and are not like with the ego trying to be the best in the team and the one with the better stat, it's not gonna work.
No stat farmers allowed in CRRC. Your stats are pretty good though. So you're saying that that's just you not even trying to farm stats?
No, of course,
Uh,
like stats are good things for the team. If you have a lot of stats, it means that you score a lot of goals or something.
mhm.
But in the term that want to help the team, not for the individual stat. I don't really
Yeah.
care if I finish first, 10th, or second, or whatever.
So you don't think, there's some pros who have admitted on this show in the past that, when the ball is getting close to the goal and you save it, it's an
Mm.
epic save and you get 10 extra points because you get, I think, 60 points for an epic save, 50 for a save. Some pros have openly admitted that when the ball is on target, they let it get closer. 75, you get 25 extra. No way, you get set. Okay, I stand corrected. 75 points instead of 50. So you think what do you think about that, CRR pros who do that on purpose for extra
I
points?
mean, I really don't know, but in my case, I really don't have time to think about the points when I'm playing the tournament.
Yeah, some pros do. Some pros definitely. We're getting some accusations in chat right now towards some pros who do this. CRR don't got any time for that. He's too busy winning. Too busy
Missed.
winning games.
Let's let's switch up a little bit here, Sarah. I want to hear your thoughts and your whole take on. I mean, I guess your whole move to NA in general. I guess start from the beginning, really, of like how that even happened, and like obviously like where it led to now.
Starting from the beginning,
Yeah.
it started when after Gamers 8, when I leave Guild, and I started to thinking about a team. I started thinking about like the Spanish team. If you remember the Spanish super team that was gonna be in the summer, and we started the trials like that. And then after that, when they decided to be together, like Dorito, Marvi, and Atomic, I saw that Complicity was gonna make a change, and I just asked Red Bull in Steam. And after that, they just started thinking about the option that I can join them, and at the end, I joined them. But it was really hard move. It really was hard for the Bison, for having to be in another country that young. I'm not the best speaking English. My English is not the best, but I try what I can. So it was hard because I need to do everything you do in a normal day in another language. So it was hard at the start, and but I think it worth it. I really learned a lot being here and being alone now with parents, and I think it was a good experience at the end with ups and downs.
Did you move in? Do you live with Raysville and AJG right now? AJG didn't look like it was at your guys' facility. What's the situation over there?
No, I just live with Racewell, and in the next apartment there is Awesome and AJG, and with
Mhm.
that it's just that AGG didn't feel good playing when we were playing in the Complexity HQ. I don't know why, but he always said that he feels very at home, and we always say that we feel very in the HQ. So we go to the HQ and we let him go stay in home because he wanted to play there to feel better, and that's it.
How close is that between the HQ and your homes?
It's like 5 minutes.
Like
Oh, right.
a
So
walker drive.
No, in walk it's like 10.
Oh, okay.
But like we have like scooters, yeah, and we go
Wait,
with
oh,
that. So
you
it's
take
like 5 minutes.
scooters?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
so after you won the last regional, you and Raysville hop on the scooters going this way. AJG's on the scooter coming this way, like yes, yeah, just screaming at each other. We did it. Meeting some random road somewhere. Like where? What did you do to celebrate the win? Did you go out for
uh,
dinner?
yeah, we like the next day just went to have dinner, and that's all we did.
It's right back in the grind.
Yeah.
Only the one day off. These guys don't mess around. You said earlier that you need to sacrifice everything. So for you, that means like going to a different country, making day-to-day life more difficult. You're having to interact in English all the time, which is obviously your English is really good, by the way. But obviously, like if you're having to think all the time in a second language, that's not as easy. So you're making a lot of sacrifices here. What other sacrifices have you made? If you want to tell us about anything you've done or had to leave, any things you really like doing that you had to leave behind now to pursue being a pro Rocket League player?
Um, I think one of the sacrifices you do as like a pro player in any sport, or that is that you have to stop going out a lot of time. You have to stop going with your friends, and you have to really focus your life in the game. But I think if that's really what you want, is worth it. But if you're not sure, it's something like hard to keep in the time.
hmm Yeah, that's tough. And you've been well, you went to NA, of course, for the start of the season. Were you in Texas the whole time? Is this been your place you're in the entire time you're in NA, or have you moved?
No, the first split I played in Canada, and then I moved to
That's
Texas
right.
with the boys.
Right. So wait, I can't remember for some reason. Were you in Canada and they were already in Texas?
Yeah,
And then you had to move.
yeah,
Um, yeah. I think that's also Gen G did that as well.
yeah.
So is this better? How does it compare Texas versus Canada? Obviously, you're with your team now.
Um, I think I prefer Texas, just because here is like the temperature is always like higher than in Canada, and I think that means so much for me because in Canada it's so cold and I really don't like it.
You were there the worst time actually, because the fall split is actually in the winter for Rocket League. So you were there in the winter, very cold. And now you're warm, not too warm. How does it compare to Spain? I don't actually know. Where in Spain were you from?
I'm from Madrid. Yeah,
Madrid.
it's pretty similar, to be honest.
Madrid. Wait, so were you at season 8 when RLCS came to Madrid? Did you go?
No, I was so young. I asked my parents, but in that time I just failed an exam, so they just
No
didn't
No,
go.
way.
Oh
no.
no!
It's
Too
a
much Rocket
disaster.
League. Well, you
Wait, so
mentioned like the sacrifices when you move
uh,
and stuff like that. Was it purely like the move to NA just for the Rocket League, or did you also think it's a good opportunity, like you said, to I guess get away from your parents and I guess maybe mature a bit, live. No, I don't want to say it like that. You know what I mean? Like, you can like life experience. You get to go to a new country and experience. Was it about that, or purely this is like the best move for my Rocket League career?
I think it's for both. I really wanted to be here and be away with my parents, but not for them because I just like to be to know another countries and different cultures and just everything. I just like to be alone or with friends. And if it's in another country playing a video game that I love, is the best option you have.
Yeah, just
Like is the dream of every child, being with your friends in a house playing a video game.
yeah, it is. I mean that's it sounds like is it really the dream still though? Because it is the dream when you're a child. It just sounds amazing. You get to play a video game for money, and that's what would be better? But is it everything that it seemed at when you were dreaming about that as a kid, or is it more difficult
No,
than you
really,
thought?
when you're a kid, it's more about having fun with your friends than the money. The money comes after, and with this, of course, but it's not really that important thing. It's something that came up to our life with this, and of course, it's so good. But I think the most important thing is the experience we are having and everything we are going through with this. That's the most important for our life.
And I just checked, you were 14, right? You just turned 14 when RLCS Season 8 was in Madrid, I think, unless I'm calculating this wrong. I think,
Mhm.
yeah, you would have been 14, right?
I don't remember in what year it was.
No, 2019. So, yeah, I think, yeah,
Yeah,
2022,
yeah,
end of last year, you would have been still 17. You're 17 now, for anyone
yeah.
wondering. Sarah's 17. So, he's a young mechanical player over here, but you're so mature. So I think compared to some of the other 17-year-olds, people wouldn't know. But yeah, 14, didn't do your homework, couldn't go to RLCS. That's like that's a warning, I guess, for all of our listeners. Do your homework, or you might not be allowed to go to RLCS when it comes around to your city. What about so another thing about moving to NA? You quickly mentioned that okay, you were thinking about Spanish super team, and you said that Dorito, Atomic, Mark, they wanted to play. Were you like trying to get in that team, and then they were like more interested in playing together? So you were like, were you upset about that? That you didn't get to be in the Spanish super team?
No, then all finished good and we are still friends. But at that time when we did all the tryouts, I tried first with Atomic and Marby, and then with Dorito and Marby. And I figured out that I really didn't want to play with Mark, not for anything special. I just prefer to be with two young stars around me because we were gonna be like more mechanical. And for I in that time I thought the playstyle was coming. You need to be ready for every ball and being able to have the mechanics for everything. And I think Mark in that time was a bit low after didn't play like the spring split in that season. So he needed to get back on the green. And I always see that when you take a long break, it's hard to be at the same level because you need to green like more than what you was doing.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, you and Mark didn't mesh. You thought, nah, this isn't gonna work. But they liked obviously they liked the team. The other it sounds like lots of different teams were trying out. You tried out with two different versions.
Yeah.
They tried out as well.
Mhm.
Lots of different tryouts for the Spanish super team, and you said, nah, I'm going to talk to my other Spanish speaking friends because that's kind of the cool thing about Spain, Argentina, Chile in the Rocket League scene is you all speak Spanish.
Yeah.
It's the same. Well, there's differences, but it's literally like the same. Like for day-to-day life, right? You didn't have to learn any slang, any dialects, or anything like that. Some languages they're very different. Or even though the language is technically the same, like between different countries will be different. Is it just exactly the same for you guys? Spanish in Argentina, Chile, and Spain?
I mean, of course, they have like some different words, but at the end, the language is the same, or it's just similar, so we understand each other easily. You just
Yeah.
like one word in any sentence that you don't understand, but it's nothing like hard. It's like being with another Spanish. it's just so similar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Can you tell that like they're not from Spain? Like, is there like accents or something like that?
No, you really know they are not from Spain when you talk with them, but you understand everything. Like there's nothing you can understand just with like one word or something to that it really doesn't affect.
Do you make fun of each other for having different words? Because whenever Rizzo says a really American word, I'll laugh about it. Or whenever CJ says a really Australian word, I think it's funny, and they're always making fun of the British as well. Is it the same in your guys' case?
Yeah, it happened the same. More them to me because they are three, else and they
Ah,
laugh about something that I say always.
yeah, 'cause the coach is also Argentinian, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. Yeah, Guesem. Yeah, okay, you're getting ganged up on, so you already need some help out here. It's not fair. That's so awesome though. Like it's kind of overpowered actually. You speak English and Spanish. You've got like so many options on a global scale for Rocket League. Whereas if you don't speak Spanish, like what would you have done? Like you'd be still in Europe, I guess. Have to just stay there.
Probably, yeah. Even in Europe, it was hard to find a team being Spanish. Sometimes just for being Spanish it's not the same because it's not a perfect English. I can speak English, but it's not perfect, and that for some people is something to think about, and someone that cannot pick me for that.
And you started actually your first big team that you to really go back in time. The first time that I remember casting one of your games, you were playing with Dorito and I think Tigre. That was the first time that I would have casted you. But you'd been around for a while, like on bubble teams. Um, was that your first team? That was your first team that did pretty well. Dorito, Tigre, and you, right? Yeah, White
Yeah,
Demons.
but
You got,
the first in RLCS was with Ghostfire. That's the first time we get it to the RLCS.
and you made like was it a top 16 or how far did he go? I'm trying to remember.
I think we beat Guild, and that's it. It was double limb. I think we just won one game.
hmm And then yeah, White Demons, you went top 8, I'm gonna say, with White Demons, or was it top 4?
Yeah,
Um,
we made double top 8 and one top 4, I think, or something like that. I don't remember
I
at
guess
all.
that's about right, yeah, because you guys were definitely doing pretty well. And then after that, you stayed with Dorito and played with Zamwe on a full Spanish team, right? On Barcelona. I think that was the next move.
Yeah.
But then Guild like pulled you away. You thought, you know what? Time to leave Dorito for a bit. Go play with Guild. You, Nolly, and Devo. Why did you go to Guild? What was the thoughts back then?
It was a hard time because the team with somewhere didn't go really well. Because at that time I was a little bit toxic, and someone was more toxic than me. So so it really didn't work. And when we started getting bad results and we lost the in the Gamergy one, it's a Spanish tournament, we decided that we could continue that team. That like wasn't an option.
I love that. I was a little bit toxic, and my teammate was even more toxic. This is brilliant. So you thought, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm going to Guild. How were Nolly and Devo to play with? You guys played one split together. You did pretty good. What was that like?
Um, it was hard. I like it was like the first time I was in a team that no one speaks Spanish, so it was pretty hard because it was like they were like a group, and I was like more alone because I don't speak at all English, so it wasn't like that easy to be in a call with them for me because I didn't know the language at that
And
time
Nolly,
like that
Nolly,
much.
Nolly barely speaks English as well. Like
True.
he's Nolly's ridiculous. Especially like I understand him because I'm familiar with the accent, but I don't know how like a foreigner is supposed to understand, non-British person is supposed to understand
It is
Nolly.
tough. It
Yeah,
is
didn't want
tough.
to interrupt you there. Just wanted to give you some copium that Nolly is well difficult. But sorry, you were saying difficult to
It was
survive.
difficult to understand for me because I wasn't my English at that time was worse than now, so it really was hard for me. But they really tried to get me in the group, but it wasn't easy. And I don't know, we just had a lot of problems with the playstyle, figuring out how to play together. and at the time Devo and Oli were on so low hours, like they always was on 20 hours, and I was always telling them to play more, but I don't know, it was like we wasn't on the same page at the time.
So you
You,
felt a little bit isolated, but then you gained Dorito. You gained a Spanish player for the winter split. So now a little bit less isolated. You still had Devo, obviously not putting in the hours. But I want to talk about Games 8. I want to talk about that event because that was obviously, you had picked up Dorito. Sorry, did I say winter split? Yeah, spring split you picked up Dorito. Anyway,
yeah.
Gamers 8, let me tell this. Obviously, you had a pretty good event there. No one was really expecting you guys to go well. But you had a 1v1 against First Killer
Oh,
in the semi final, and it went to overtime. This has to be nearly the most expensive 1v1 in history. This is $100,000 on the line, and it went to overtime. Talk me through the nerves in that
0 second goal,
1v1.
CJ. 0 second goal as
And
well.
is 0 second
Equalizer
goal to bring it
to
to
go to
overtime as
overtime.
well. Like I can't imagine playing a 1v1 with like the pressure of your teammates behind you with all this money on the line. How was that?
It was so hard. I always remember that game for winning, and because I missed in that one's game like for open nets,
Yeah.
I did like 5 shots that was to the post. It like was open and I missed like a lot of times. So I was so tilted in that match. I really don't even know how I come back that. I started playing so good and everything started to go in my way, and it was just my day. It was my day.
Were you thinking during the match about the fact that you'd win an extra $100,000 if you won that match?
Yeah, because
Almost.
that season really was bad for us. More for me was a bad season that I expect after being in White Demons. I expect like the next season to be so much better, but it was just bad, and I didn't top really well. I missed like 3 regionals, and of course I do this because I love this, but the money helps to be to because I wanted to leave school to play Rocket League, and and treat it like a job, and being only something that is fun for me but don't help me to grow up and live. It just doesn't work. You have to make a choice at any time, and that was my time, so it was helpful to make that choice and being able to compete full time and not being uh to another year of studying.
You
But you
mentioned
did.
just
Sorry, go
before
CJ.
about you nearly went to Madrid in season 8. This is kind of backtracking a little bit, but how you if you failed a test or something
An
or an
exam.
assignment,
Yeah,
an
an exam.
exam.
Yeah.
How I guess, and then you talk about the money factor, how it's obviously important to make a living. How did your, I guess, parents or family, I guess, treat Rocket League in the first place? Did you have to were they always on board with you playing games, or did you have to sort of be like, hey, look at the money I'm now making. This is a serious thing.
I never never miss anything in my house. Everything was okay, but we didn't really have money. We was just at the line to don't have any money at the end of the month. So really, I started to making money from Rocket League. Really helped my parents to can be like more chill about the money and don't have to think about if they are gonna be able to pay bills or something. So I think that really it was my objective to help them and try to get a better life for them, and where they don't have to think about money at all. And that was one of my objectives. For that I was thinking about it in Gamers 8, say 8, and every tournament I play is just for me and for my parents.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
It is awesome. You didn't think though after Gamers 8 that wait a minute, maybe RLCS with this roster, Dorito, Devo, and me, maybe that wasn't the end of the road. Maybe Gamers 8 was a sign that we should stick together. You didn't think that was an option at all, because RLCS didn't go too well for you this spring split. You didn't go as well as you wanted to. Was there any thoughts at all about staying together as a trio?
No, not really. We already knew before Gamers 8 that we were gonna stop being a team. That was just the last dance of that guild, and we already knew it, so it was something that was gonna happen because it was a pretty bad season for everyone, and we wanted to be with the new players.
You brought up as well, like, you know, playing a lot of this stuff to help your parents, at least the money wise, was like really helping your parents. Do you feel like that added any sort of pressure, or was that like just that much more motivation?
It was really both. I think more motivation than any other thing, because it's something that can happen. Like if we win and I win some money and that helps my parent, that's good. But it's not. It wasn't something like I have to do it because it was like there was nothing secure. I was trying, but I didn't know if it was gonna work.
Yeah.
And but when it works, it really calm you because you see that you achieved like something great and something good for the family.
Was that, I guess, any motivator to move to North America? I know a lot of people would say there's more, I guess, opportunities, more money in the scene. There's more, like you look at, I guess, what Furia did, or even, I guess, your team, Complexity, originally moving from South America to North America. Obviously, the competition's better, but there's a bit more money. Yours was a bit different, though, because obviously you're already playing in Europe, and it's like similar prize money. But were you thinking about, was it more about like team success or also, you know, making a bit more money? There's some more opportunities in North America for you.
No, it really wasn't about the money moving to North America. It was just about know a new country, be with different people, meet new friends, and trying to leave Spain because I haven't left Spain before moving to NA and to going to the gamer side, and I just wanted to like new people and be in new experience and do something new with my life, and that was like a so good option with friends and Rocket League, and that's everything of my life right now. So I really thought about that, and that's why I made the decision.
Do you feel any extra pressure given that you're not only moved from EU to NA, which is big enough for obviously you see Nolly and Jack, but also you're on Complexity, who obviously moved from South America to NA as well. Do you feel this like double pressure in like what team you're on and to perform, to I guess prove yourselves in NA and you individually?
I don't think there's more pressure. It's the good thing is that we know that all the fans want us to win, and they are always there. And I don't know. I really enjoy the Complexity fans and the Argentinian fans and Chilean from every country that usually speak Spanish because they are so passionate and they put a lot of love in the game and helping us. And that's one of the things that why we want to win and help us to win. Like their words, they always send us messages and everything is saying like beautiful words, and that really helps a lot.
That's so wholesome. You know, perfect time, I think, on such a wholesome note to probably. Well, actually, we talked a little bit about this before the show, so I know where this is going. Chat, don't worry, we're not only instigating here, but we have to talk about you and Nolly specifically because you guys have a bit of history. Of course, you joined his team, Guild, like we talked about, and then he was, you know, maybe I think not at anywhere near the peak. I think he was in probably the lowest low of his career ever in that split. He was, yeah, from compared to winning regionals the previous season, and then what he's done after, this was like the one of the worst nullies we'd ever seen. Not many people thought he'd be back actually at the top because of how low Guild had gone. So you guys decided to kick him, and it wasn't the cleanest kicking of a player that's ever happened, but that doesn't matter. We don't need to talk about that. But then he joined Carmine Corp. Somehow he ends up in Carmine Corp, which is kind of crazy that worked out in such a short window. And then they made the spring major, did really well at Worlds, and you guys are looking at this like, how has this happened? What was going through your mind when you know Nolly actually? I think he improved a lot after you kicked him. What was your take on that? What do you think happened with all that
Um,
went down?
I don't know. I don't know why, but after we kick him, he started to get motivated and started to grind a lot of hours. I didn't know why he didn't do it on Guild. He I
Yeah.
saw that in Carmen Cup he was like always on 100 hours, and with me he was in low hours. But probably he had something personal that I didn't know, and that affects him in the game. Probably that can be one of the reasons, and I'm not like the person to talk about if like why. But after a week, he started doing well in Carmen Corp. Of course, that was like hard for me because he was always tweeting something about me, and that at that time when always that he made a good result, he post something on Twitter about me. It was pretty hard. Was pretty hard months because always everyone was like hating on me because we kicked him and everything. But I don't know. I think it is what it is, and if he started winning and getting good results, is because he deserved it.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this before the show, just in passing, but we saved most of it for now, of course. So that was last season. This season, you're both playing in North America. You're still competing viciously against each other. They, or I think, yeah, you told us that you've got a winning record against them by one series. Most of your wins coming in group stages and qualifiers. They usually had your number in playoffs. Then you guys beat them in the major and you just beat them twice this weekend, so you got 3 in a row actually against them. Yeah, he tweeted after your most recent win, congratulating you guys. He didn't think that you guys were going to do very well this split, so he tweets after losing. On me at Complexity, I owe you guys an apology. You've really stepped up as a team. Congrats and GGs. So now that this split, actually this season is more than halfway done. What's the update on the Nolly CRR situation? If it was a bit salty last season, where are you guys at now?
I really don't know. Yeah, because in summer I thought it was nice because he and Jack asked me to team at the time to do tryouts. But after that, when he joined Gen G and started winning, I saw some tweets about me too.
Okay.
But I don't know. I tried to stop doing tweets about him and keeping with the beef because I think it's something that we don't have to do anymore. Like it's from the past, and I think that should end now. Um, but I don't know. Right now, I don't really think anything bad about him. It's just someone more in the community. I'm fine with him, and I don't have any problem right now.
So you say you're fine with him. Do you feel like when you play him, there's a little bit of extra motivation to beat him, or is it just the same as any other team?
Um,
What Rizzo's saying is, would you have air dribble bumped Jack or Chronic if they were last man in Game 6 when you were one goal away from winning, or was that just Nolly, the special? You saw Tim was like, come here. Come here.
Do you want to bump his
Sweet.
nameplate just a little more? That's the question.
no, I would literally bumps anyways. But yeah, when I moved to NA at the start, the first time or the two first times I played against Genji, yeah, I really thought like I had an extra motivation to play against him and try to win. But after that, I really stopped thinking about it because I thought it was time to focus on the team and not about other people outside of the team.
Obviously, Nolly didn't really, or at least last week, respect or think you guys were as good as maybe you are, or you clearly have shown last week. But do you think that that is like a common thing for a lot of other teams or players? Like, do you think other teams do respect you a lot and think that you guys are one of the best teams in North America, or you feel like teams are kind of like, they're okay, they're sort of in the mix?
I really think I don't know. I feel like most of the team underrate us, but probably it's just something that I feel, and it's not like it. I really don't know how they think about us. But I always see that sometimes in the winter, like everyone's thinks that we had a Mickey run in the regionals or in the major or whatever. But I don't think that really is what it is, and I think that's why they all the people didn't take our results that serious because of the Mickey run. So I don't know. I really didn't understand why everyone was thinking that when we had very good teams in groups.
Yeah, we agree. We if you want if you want evidence, any listeners of this episode, we definitely push back on that. We definitely not a Mickey run at all, and yeah, definitely not in hindsight. But one other very popular topic, as always, is you, Jack, and Nolly all moved from Europe to America this season. You're all doing pretty well. But what's the gameplay and what's the difference for you, if there are any, between EU RLCS last season, NA RLCS this season? How are the play styles or the teams, the professionalism, anything you want to talk about? What are the differences, if there are any, between the regions?
Mm, I don't know. I really think that the playstyle in Europe is more about mechanics, skill, who is faster, and pre-jams. It's a good playstyle. I really enjoy playing like that. But here in North America, I see the game more like about solid threes, trying to have more solid rotations. Don't play that fast. It's more about uh, having the ball, control the game and the pace of the game. And I think it's a really interesting playstyle, and I love to play it. And I think that's why Jack and Nolly really get good results here, because I think they are both like so good
Slow.
players. And
Oh.
no, they play with a lot of EQ. They think a lot about their touches,
Uh-huh.
about what they are doing. More Jab because of the ones he played a lot once. He's so good at ones, and he's really good at the main games. And that's one of the things that is important here, I think.
So do you think other EU ones mains should go to NA as well? Would you say that this is a good region for them?
It's not about being 1v1 player. It's just about being good, like with the mind games and with rotation. Like, not every player that is from you and is good in 1v1 is gonna play good in NA. It doesn't like that. But I think if someone wants to move, it's a good opportunity. But it's always hard to be here and outside, like without family and everything. So I don't think everyone is prepared to do it.
Obviously, Johnny harps on about the fact that, well, at least the last grand final, there was only one North American. Do you think that is NA worse than EU? Do you find it easier to play over there, or is it just play styles, like you said?
I really don't think. I don't know if NA is better or EU is better. The only thing I know is that probably, in my opinion, the playstyle in Europe is like counter of the playstyle in NA. And when you see teams like Carmen Corp or the Team Queso with Batida, Rice, and Hoyo, teams like that, they always play so good against North American team because of their skill levels and the playstyle they have. But always a North American team can be the best too. So I think it's really similar, the level in both regions.
What
I
about
love how
like
you say their names. It's just in passing the Batira, Rise, and Joy. It sounds so much cooler when you say it with the Spanish
Mm.
names. It sounds terrifying. It sounds really cool.
What about, I
Love it.
guess, work ethic between the regions? Have you found that NA teams practice more, or EU teams scrim more, and like I guess tying onto that, in terms of like the NA pro, I guess, player community, do you like talk to the other players, play ranked with the NA players, or compared to Europe?
Mm, I don't really know, because here in NA I really don't play at all ranks. I stopped playing ranks here. I started playing more free play, so I don't know about who is talking with each of playing with another players.
Why is
What
that?
about
Why have you stopped
scrims?
ranked?
Huh?
Oh.
I was gonna
Oh.
say before we move on, why have you stopped ranked in NA?
I don't know, because I can't really focus and try hard on ranked. So when I'm not that try hard, I always lose points, and I really don't like it. So I started playing more free play, because I wasn't in the mood of try hard in ranked at all. So I started to play more free play to don't get tilted or something.
I like that.
That's
I was
smart.
going to say, what about scrims between the regions? Like, do you find that NA teams scrim more? And like, do you guys scrim twice a day, 3 times a day? And have you found it to be more than EU or less?
No, I think both scream similar. Just one curious thing is that most of the time the NA teams comes like 5 or 10 minutes later to the scrims, but the Europe teams leaves 10 or 5 minutes before the scrim.
So
It's
it's
something
actually
that really happens, and I don't know why, but it's funny.
so instead of 1 hour, it's if you got EU versus NA scrims, it's just actually 40 minutes. Like the 10 minutes late, 10 minutes early, leave, 40-minute scrim, nice and short. But it sounds like you're enjoying yourself. Can you see yourself? I mean, this sounds like a very job interview question. Can you see yourself in NA for many years? Is it where you want to be?
I don't know. Probably. I really don't know what's gonna happen after this season or whatever. I always think about everything. Being in NA can be good for more years, or like you don't really know what is gonna come with the futures. But right now I feel so good here, and I'm in a good moment. So I don't think about leaving or something right now.
What's the expectations for the rest of the season now? You've won regional one, so you're in a really good spot to make the major, which obviously if you make the major, you're making worlds as well. But yeah, what are you hoping to achieve for this upcoming rest of the split, major, and worlds?
I don't know. I always have like bad predictions about me because I'm not really confident before the tournament start. I always get confident when I'm playing, not before. Like I usually don't think that we are gonna have like good results, but not for nothing. It's just that my confidence goes higher when I play more than when there is 1 week left to the tournament or something like that. So I don't know, but I hope we can make good at the major, at least playoffs. I hope. And Worlds is gonna be a good experience, and we're gonna try to be in the top 8 too if we qualify for Worlds. That's the main objective, being in the playoffs, and of course qualifying. If we can not be in wildcard, that's one of the other goals we have, been like direct on Worlds and don't have to play wildcard.
I think it's very achievable. You know,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
if you'd come in and
beyond
said, "Yeah, we want to
achievable.
win Spring Major and Worlds," I'd be like, "Wow, that's gonna be that's very impressive you did." But I think everything you've just said, yeah, doable. You guys sound like you're on the grind, so I believe. I think complexity. If you're not the best in NA, definitely can be, because the trajectory is up, up, up. You guys consistently improving. Some other teams in NA are up and down, so I am a big fan. Can't wait to see what's next for you guys.
I just want to quickly, it's not a bit off topic, but you mentioned you liked moving to North America. It was a bit more for the experience as well as the playing. Let's hypothetically say next season you get an offer from me and Rizzo to move to Oceania, come play in Australia. Would you like to come down and move to Australia and potentially, get a free major spot, free world spot?
Nah, I don't think so.
Well, do you want to think about it a bit more
Well,
before
look, you don't have to,
You don't need
respond
to
now.
say,
You get back to us.
You can
weigh
sleep
up
on
the
it, yeah.
options.
Nah, I really moved to North America because it's like the I don't know, the dream, because when you're a child always see like many cities from here that are so cool, and you see in the TV or in YouTube videos or TikTok, or I don't know, and you see that it's something like a dream, and to know a country that you see a lot of times in series or I don't know. I was just curious to see if everything I saw in the internet is real or is so different to Spain, and that's one of the main things that I moved. I wanted to know a new country.
Well,
American food or Spanish food, which is better?
Spanish by far.
Good call.
By far.
By far, of course.
do you feel like once you saw like all the like movies and stuff, like it was real, like it was what you expected when you came to the US?
Yeah, it's really. I really have an idea in my mind because I watch a lot of series and films from here, and I really had an idea in my mind, and it's really similar what I thought, because I travel a lot with everything from for the move and the Visa stuff and things, and I really think it's similar about what I thought it was gonna be.
And like, you don't have to say the name of it or if anything, if there is one, but I'm wondering, like, did you go out of your way to find like a Spanish restaurant over there when you moved to make sure like you had the right food instead of just like cheeseburgers every day?
No, I just try to start cooking a little bit, but of course I eat fast food sometimes. But I try to cook something easy. Just I don't really cook at all. It's just basic things, and that's what I do.
Fair enough.
You also said you obviously live with Ray's Bull, so there's a couple of final ones
Yes.
from me. Firstly, what's it like teaming with the Bull?
What did you say?
What's it like like being on a team with the Bull, with Ray's Bull?
CJ calls Ray's Bull the Bull. That's his
The
name
Bull.
for
Yeah.
Ray's Bull. Yeah.
I don't know. At the start, it really was hard because we are pretty similar. Like in the game, we have not similar play styles, but we are like so competitive. And at the start, when I joined Complexity, we was always with the ego, with the other trying to be the best of the team. And I think with the time we started to be more friends and not only trying to compete against each other, but we are still working on that. It's not perfect yet, but we are trying to be like we are trying to do anything good for the team and not being and not only think about us and about being the best alone and trying to think about being the best, but with the team, not just like as something individually.
And living with him as well, does he have any funny, interesting like habits or things he might do that you've picked up on that you might want to share? You don't have to share. Does he, I don't know, is he messy? Does he fart a lot? Does he have something that annoys you living with him?
Um, I don't know. I think it's. I always say that he's really like my second mom. Sometimes he always say to me, "You have to do this for to clean or something." He's always asking me to do things. That I always say it to him that he's like my second mom. He's always saying what I have to do in the house.
What a legend.
Yeah, I love
What a
it.
legend.
That was like an amazing answer to CJ. It's terrible.
Does
What do you think, guys?
does
Tell me
he
about
fart
him.
a lot?
about him. I love him. He's got a parasocial relationship with Ray's Bull. This guy, unbelievable.
It's more because I'm a little bit lazy, to be honest. So he's always trying to make me do things.
Yeah, that's good though. If you've got nothing worse. I've heard of teams and Rocket League teams and players who have ended up like really hating each other because someone's messy at a boot camp beyond belief, like
Oh,
just
yeah.
so messy that it just like it tilts the teammates in real life. And when you're tilted in real life, you're tilted in game. So there's nothing you can do about it. So
Yeah.
that's probably a good thing to have Ray's Bull be the second mom.
Yeah,
That's
but
cool.
most of the time when he's not in that mood, we are like brothers. We are always doing jokes to each other and having fun, and I really enjoy it.
Constant.
Can I have the floor for it? Obviously, firstly, thank you, Sarah. This has been phenomenal. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate your time with us. I feel like I've learned a lot about you, and hopefully the viewers type 1 in chat if you've learned a lot or something about CRR. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
there it is.
There they are.
Little
There they
delay.
are. They
As
will
you
learn.
said, your English is fantastic. Like, we need to get you on
Phenomenal,
more
bro.
often to come and chat.
Yeah, that's right. My objective with this was to let everyone know more about me and about the team, and I try to be the most honest I can be to for the people to see what it really happens when you are a pro player and with everything about the move and just everything.
Oh, should we
That's
quickly do a
awesome.
quick EU prediction, like a top 4 or something? Click
Oh,
around.
that's a good. Do you watch any
Yeah.
EU Rocket League at all, CRR still?
Yeah, I always watch the Euro Rocket League.
You always watch? Okay, so that's a good idea to finish. So
Yeah.
EU's on this weekend. CRR, your top 5 teams, your predictions for your teams that are going to make the major. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah, I can say that, but first I want to say something that I think
Yeah.
that can happen is that I think G1 and Vitality are gonna play in the second round if they both win their games, and
Hmm.
I have the prediction about that the team that wins that matchup is gonna have like a so good split, and the one that lose that matchup is gonna be like harder times in
Ooh.
qualifying to the major.
Oh. So G1 is Atomic, Dorito, and Oli now. And obviously Vitality, everybody does. That Zen's joined up and doesn't. That's interesting. Well, okay, so who are you picking though? I know you might not want to pick against your. If you don't want to choose any team, I know that you got your Spanish friends there on G1. But do you have top five?
Mm,
Does your top five include one of those teams then, and not the other? Is what I'm trying to say.
um, right now, I'm gonna include both. Like I would say, Carmine Corp, Liquid, Vitality, G1,
Yeah.
and I will say probably Moist or BDS.
Oh, BDS. Not Hogan mode. Growly, Resi, Scrub Killer have just qualified. You don't want to go with
No,
Hogan mode?
I don't
No?
think so.
I thought you were trolling. I did not know that was their team name.
I'd recommend if you want a funny who chat, somebody help me out before we go insane here. Who streamed the Hogan mode qualifier? Because Joyo does such a good Scrub Killer
I've heard
impression.
that. I heard that.
You need to listen to Joyo's Scrub Killer impression. It's really quite excellent. He was casting their games when they qualified, and I'd recommend it. Great viewing. Great job, Joyo. Very convincing. Not even a Scottish accent, just specifically a Scrub Killer accent. I don't know how he does it. Yeah,
It was
Resi,
good.
Resi's Twitch with Joyo casting, absolutely incredible. But yeah, CRR's been incredible. Thank you so much for coming on, bro.
I want to
You're,
ask you as well
you're a god.
quickly. It'd be rude of us not to. Vitality with Zen. What had it? You said third in EU. How good are they going to be? Do they win a regional? Do they win a major? What do you think?
I really have different things about Vitality because I think it really is. I think it really is gonna work, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be that good. Like I think they are gonna be able to make major, but I don't know if they are gonna be like the best team in the region or just second behind Carmen Corp. I think they're gonna be around top 5, but don't think they're gonna be able to be like more that solid in the top 2. I don't think they're gonna be that solid in the top 2, but yeah, in the top 5.
Can you see them doing what V1 did on the weekend, sort of bombing out a little bit, not performing too well, maybe outside the top 8 or something?
Can be an option, but I don't really think so. I think they are pretty consistent, and I think Zen is gonna be so motivated to play the RCS, and he's gonna probably be in so high hours, and he's gonna be peaking. So I don't think they're gonna have a bad result in the first regional, but probably it's gonna be hard for them. I expect some games 5 or something like that.
All right. Well, that's going to do it. We're going to wrap up right there. Thank you, everybody, for watching Chalkcast number 38.
Should we plug Patreon? Do you want me to plug it, Rizzo, for you?
Yeah, plug
Yeah,
it, CJ,
yeah,
plug
I
it.
was gonna hit it at the
Ladies and
outro,
gentlemen,
but if you want to
we
just go
mentioned
for
the Patreon in the beginning. Before we end, this is for the podcast, for the listeners, for the watchers. We now have a Patreon. What does that mean? We want your money. No, basically $5 a month. There's different tiers, but we're giving you a bonus episode of, well, not chalked. We're
Every
giving
week,
of us.
every week, one episode.
Of
So that's
us.
four. There's already 2 up there. We're gonna put another one up.
We've
Actually,
just launched
soon.
it. Yep. Just launched the Patreon. There's already 2 up. There's one up coming up either today or tomorrow. There'll be another episode. If you want to get some more content, if you want to be a little bit more a part of the community, we've got a Discord in there. You can chat to us in there. You can suggest topics. You can request guests like CRR if you want him on again. We've got a monthly Q&A as well if you want to have a Q&A questions. There's potential to record topics or record questions that we could play on stream, stuff like that. If you want to get involved, then go for it. Don't stop. Everyone in the chat saying
Everybody's
no
like,
one's
can you
scattering.
call it free? No, this is the free episode you're listening to. These these are going to continue to be free
It's
as they always
free.
have been.
It's free
We're not
after you pay
changing
the
it.
We're
$5.
making
That's it.
more.
That's
We're
good.
just
That's a
making
good
even
topic,
more
yeah.
episodes, one a week as usual, live, and then we're going to do one a week recorded as well
So
for Patreon.
we've got 4 free episodes for $5 a month. But outside of that, nothing's changing. We've still got our usual this is going to be uploaded to YouTube still. We're still streaming to you guys on Twitch. But if you want to get involved a bit more, there's a chance for you to do it. And there's some funny stuff.
I mean, see, Landy
already.
just subbed to Rizza right now. He could have got the Patreon and got like episodes. He said he's just subbed
minus
for $5.
This guy has
For-
already
for
lost.
emotes.
He could have gone the other way.
-5 for emotes. Could have
Oh my
had
God.
Shotcast episodes. No,
Stop
it's fine.
subscribing to
Emotes are
Rizzo.
pretty good.
Start subscribing to Patreon. That's what we're saying.
You
Thanks
can't
everyone
say
for
that.
listening.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for listening. Thank you to CRR for joining us, Johnny and CJ for co-hosting as well. If you missed any episode, it'll be on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Give me some time. I got yelled at last time because it wasn't up in 6 hours. Okay. But we appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.